Myers in front, score! Ben Myers got it! Ryan to Ryan, no problem. One-timer, score! Ellie Tolmanen got it! Right in front, they score! Jaden Schwartz! That's hockey, baby!
The Kraken are in the middle of a 6-game homestand, a chance for the team to regain some momentum in what has been a busy month of hockey. These next 2 weeks could give the team a big boost heading into the Olympic break. Welcome to Kraken-home-ice. In this episode, we're hearing from some of the Kraken players who have ties to the Anaheim Ducks. Two-touch soccer has always been an integral part of the team's pregame process. The players tell us all about their warm-up known as sewer ball. And preparation for the Winter Olympics continues. Philipp Grubauer is getting ready to represent Germany. He talks about his highly anticipated reunion with his German teammates. The hockey action this week started at Climate Pledge Arena Monday as the Kraken opened their 6-game homestand against Pittsburgh. Down 2-0 late in the first, Ben Myers scores his career-high 5th goal to pull the Kraken within 2-1 after 1. The Myers line comes through again in the second period. Great work by Ryan Winterton, and Ryan Lindgren caps it off to tie the game at 2-2. Third period, Kraken on a power play. Brandon Montour tees up Ellie Tolvanen, and he fires one home to cut the lead to 4-3. Stays that way till the Pens put it away with 2 late goals. The Kraken drop the opener 6-3. The Kraken bounced back against the New York Islanders Wednesday. Kraken on a 5-on-3 power play. Vince Dunn's shot, redirected by Matty Beniers, and in. That ties the game at 1-1. Second period, nice passing here. Ben Myers to Ryan Winterton to Dunn, and he buries it for a 2-1 lead. Final minutes of the period, the Kraken power play runs out, and that's when they take advantage of a scoring chance. Jaden Schwartz sets up Capo Kako, and he slings it past Elias Sorokin to give the Kraken a 3-1 lead. They had an empty netter to finish it off and beat the Islanders 4-1.
Well, you got the benefit of that fourth line play. They've been amazing, haven't they?
Yeah, if you want to call them the fourth line, I'm not sure who is right now. So it's just been so noticeable how hard these guys are working for us to contribute to our wins, and they're making such a big difference every single night. So really happy for their success so far.
Friday night, the Anaheim Ducks come to town on a 5-game winning streak. Jordan Eberle teams up with Jared McCann to get Seattle on the board in the second period. And early in the third, look at the pass from Shane Wright to Jaden Schwartz right near the post, and Schwartz taps it in to cut the lead to 3-2. But that's as close as it gets. The Ducks add an empty netter to close out the scoring and win it 4-2. With the Kraken being one of the newer additions to the league, a lot of the players got their NHL starts with other teams, and it's always special for those players when they get to go back to the arenas they used to call home. Brianna Vasquez talked to the Kraken, who have history with the Anaheim Ducks.
Here we go!
A hockey player's first NHL team is always memorable. Josh Mahura was drafted by the Ducks and played there from 2018 to 22. Going back to the place where it all started stands out.
Yeah, it's obviously cool. A lot of memories in this rink. First game. Just tasting in the league. So yeah, it's pretty obviously special always to come back.
And when that former team is in your current team's division, there's plenty of return trips.
In a sense, it all starts blending together a little bit, but definitely always fun coming here.
For other members of the Kraken, Anaheim was a quick stop, but an unforgettable one. When now broadcaster JT Brown was a player, he spent part of the 2017-18 season with the Ducks. JT enjoyed playing games in arenas he called home before.
anytime you have an opportunity to play in those buildings where you were once, on the other side, there's always a little bit more motivation. Getting to see the fan base is always cool. Obviously going through, they remember that you played or they're waving to you when you kind of come by. Even just knowing still some players that are on the team or that you had played with. So anytime you can go back to those teams and be able to see them, it's always fun.
As a Duck, there are some memories for JT that stand out.
I probably would have to say the first time I scored in this building when I was wearing, an Anaheim sweater. I got a couple fights in there that I like too, so it's always some fun times here. Even though it was short, it was still it was sweet playing here.
JT takes what he learned as a player and uses it to help him as a broadcaster.
I think you have a little bit more insight. You know a little bit more about what it's like playing there, what it was like living in the city. So you kind of just get to feed off of that.
Mahura is thankful for where he got his start and is happy with where he's landed.
I feel like we have a high character room and, guys that want to play hard and play the right way. It kind of comes down to, 5 guys buying into a team system and what we're trying to do. And we know that's when we're most successful.
Here comes Mahura. He's in. He scores!
Kraken prospects are shining in the American Hockey League. Coachella Valley forward Yanni Newman was named the AHL Player of the Week. In 4 games, Newman scored 6 goals and notched 1 assist. He had 3 consecutive 2-goal games, helping the Firebirds win 5 straight. More to come on kraken-home-ice. The players take us through their pregame warm-up, known around the league as sewer ball. Plus, Philip Grubauer is preparing to represent his country at the Winter Olympics. He tells us about what he's looking forward to most. Athletes have all kinds of pregame routines, and for hockey players, that can be kind of unique. Brianna Vasquez is here to explain.
It's really fun to watch. The players in whatever arena they're playing in that night will find a spot and play what looks like is two-touch soccer. The players call it sewer ball.
One at a time, and if there's a new player that hasn't played so far, then we restart the game. And otherwise it just keeps going down from one guy at a time to the winners.
Yeah, you can take 2 touches if you want. It's either 2 or 1. You can use the wall, just can't hit the crown.
I think it's been around hockey for a long time, and it's just a fun warm-up to, get your brain going, get your body moving, and it's just fun to have a little competition before games,
I think it's so good physically, first of all, on your hips, on your nervous system, to react to balls, and I feel like for me I've played forever. It gets my brain going, it connects my brain to my body, and I really like that. But there's a lot of good laps too, some good intensity, some good competition, and already kind of puts you in a competitive environment or spirit, I would say.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of fun, and it's a lot of guys in this team that plays, and it's a good time to enjoy a little bit of fun before the seriousness start.
I think it's just good to kind of like let loose and mess around with the guys a little bit before. Just take it easy.
You play for a little bit, and then you're getting out or whatever, and then you might do your own little stuff, and some guys doesn't play at all, and everybody kind of just has their routines that they build up throughout the year. So whatever works.
Nice little battle before the real games.
Kind of brings us together, joking around, obviously gets you competing early. I wouldn't say it's the most dialed in thing, but it just lets you kind of let go for a bit until you have to refocus.
Oh, we get really competitive, and it's fun. I would rank myself top 2. Freddie is good too.
No, I judge it more with honesty and work ethic. I'd say Matty Beniers, I like his effort. Very good effort. Honest player. When it's his time to be out, he's out. He doesn't really try to stay in if he knows he didn't make the effort, but he always kind of does make the good effort, so I like his game.
I think Freddie is a good player. He's trying hard, so I give him that. If I can't say myself, I give it to Freddie. Yeah, he's trying hard. Yeah, let's give it to Freddie. He's top 3, I would say.
Lindy's an honest player.
We got some couple rule change throughout the season. I think it kept everybody more into it, so it's been good. It's a fun way to warm up.
Freddie, he's our commissioner, so he kind of controls the game, makes sure it's fair.
I think he's the most honest guy over there. So that's how it happened. It was not my choice. I tried to be that one also, but they didn't give it to me. So that's how it worked.
Sometimes when guys we call it a battle, when you're not sure who should be out. Normally we'd make a ball battle, but it would be too long, and now we do a shake, so just rock, paper, scissors. I think because there's a factor of like you can't control as much in the rock, paper, scissors, guys don't want it as much, so they give their effort a bit more. We got a good group, honestly. It's fun. It's a good moment. It brings the energy up before the game and gets everybody involved, so it's fun.
As you can tell, the players get very competitive with sewer ball, but I think they can all agree that Freddie's the best.
It's fun to watch. They are competitive about it, that's for sure. Thanks, Brianna. Up next, we'll talk to head coach Lane Lambert, as we do every week on the show. Plus, in this week's shootout, we're going down memory lane. The players tell us about their early memories on the ice.
Cizikas is in! Save made, and it's fought off by Grubauer.
Philip Grubauer gave up only one goal against the Islanders Wednesday. He made 24 saves in the game, none better than this one. Stops the first shot and then bats the puck away with his paddle. Great effort by the veteran goaltender for our save of the week. Philip Grubauer has been having himself quite a season. The veteran goalie has been a lethal line of defense, shutting down opponents left and right. And now, he's getting ready to do it on the Olympic stage. Chris Egan talked to Gruby about representing Team Germany at the Winter Games.
Coleman, shot Grubauer! What a save!
The German gentleman has been anything but to opposing teams this season. Philip Grubauer has been stellar in goal and has made life very difficult for everyone trying to score on him.
Sings it, connecting, what a stop! Grubauer!
The 34-year-old Grubauer won a Stanley Cup in 2018, led the Kraken to the playoffs in 2023, and will now represent Germany in the Olympics for the first time.
Never been part of the Olympics before, so it's going to be a huge dream come true for me. Back home, we didn't used to be able to watch the NHL, so we only always saw the Olympics. Never really got any clips of highlights and stuff. So yeah, the Olympics was always, we watched summer, Winter Olympics, and then all the best players in the world coming over and getting to see them was incredible. So it's definitely a huge honor to get to represent.
Grubauer provides Germany with tremendous experience and composure. And if Germany's going to upset the big hockey nations at the games, they'll need Grubauer to play at his best.
I mean, you saw 4 nations, right? Like Canada against US. Obviously, with everybody going, or the NHL allowing players to go over there, it's going to be really exciting. High-paced game. The ice is smaller than NHL size, apparently a couple feet. So that's going to make it a little bit more interesting for us too, because we do have a couple players who are playing in Europe who are used to the bigger ice. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for us. But in terms of speed and physicality, it's going to be the same.
Tipped on goal, Grubauer shuts it down.
Grubauer is also excited he won't have to face Edmonton Oilers superstar Leon Draisaitl. The two are now teammates at the games.
Then he's not going to be shooting on you now, right?
Yeah, thank God, not this time. Only in practice, but no, it's obviously huge to have a player like this, and the other guys too, like Tim Stützle, like Paterka, like what Leon has been doing in this league is absolutely incredible, and him and McDavid. So it's always fun when you have him on your side for sure.
Now that the team is almost fully healthy again, the special teams have improved, most notably the penalty kill unit. We talked to head coach Lane Lambert about the keys to killing penalties.
Preparation, I would say, would be the first thing. I think our PK coach, Aaron Schneekloth, has done a great job of preparing our guys. We started off the year, we had a certain system, and every penalty kill has a system, obviously. You're 4 against 5, so, in this game at this level, if you're a split second late or you know, a half a foot in the wrong position, it ends up in the back of the net, or it can end up in the back of the net unless the goalie makes a save. But you know, the key is preparation, understanding everyone has a role, everyone knows their job. And you know, we started off the season poorly, we made some adjustments, and since November 8th, I think we're 8th in the league in penalty killing. So we've had some serious improvement.
When you talk about putting penalty kill units on the ice, you also talk about the fact that it's a little bit more difficult getting guys playing time if you're killing a lot of penalties. Can you kind of elaborate on what you mean by that?
Yeah, there's certain guys that don't kill penalties. So, you know, we had a game where we had 7 penalties, you know, against the Islanders, and all of a sudden, if you're killing 6 or 8 minutes in a period, and then, you know, they took a couple of penalties, now you've only got 8 minutes of actual 5-on-5 time, and if a guy isn't on either one of those special teams, they're sitting there pretty good. So, you know, you have to try and fit guys in, maybe switch the lines up a little bit to get guys' legs going.
As a coach, it's important, isn't it, to you gotta keep these guys dialed in and, you know, feel like they're part of it.
You know, they have to keep themselves mentally sharp. I remind them, you know, there's certain situations that come along that you just can't control as a coach. And guys have to, you know, live with it and roll with it and be prepared.
When we talk about penalty kills and just power plays, when it's 5-on-3, it's 2-man advantage versus a 1-man advantage, do you kind of feel like, man, we really got to take advantage of this 2-man? Is there a little more pressure and urgency when it's a 5-on-3?
There's a lot more pressure and urgency when it's a 5-on-3. And I don't know. I really don't know what the percentage is, but the saying, or the used to be saying is anyways, if you don't score in a 5-on-3, you don't win the game. And, you know, that can hold true a lot of times. But there's a lot more pressure. You know, you're expected to score on a 5-on-3, so to speak. And so if you don't, it's all about momentum, and it's, you know, you give the other team momentum.
How about as far as Grubauer? I know you get a lot of questions about him lately and the fact that he had 24 saves out of 25 shots against the Islanders. So he continues to play well. Had an assist in that game. Everybody likes to make a big deal about goalie fights, goalie assists, goalie goals. Any kind of experience you could share with us about goaltenders in your past?
Well, I had a goalie that I coached in the Predators organization, started in Milwaukee, and then went to Nashville's all-time leading win goaltender in the Nashville Predator history, Pekka Rennie. He could play the puck. He was ahead of his time a little bit, so it was only a matter of time until he shot one down the ice into the other team's net, and did. I wasn't there to witness it. I was gone by that time, but he did score a goal. It's a big deal. You know, Gruby made a nice play the other night, kept the puck alive, so to speak, gave it to Montour, who ripped it down the ice, and McCann had a really good read on that and ended up, you know, it was an empty net goal, but certainly an exciting time for him.
All right, lastly, Pekka's a big name in goaltending history. How about when you played or you coached in other areas, other places, do you remember a goalie or two that just stood out to you as, man, this guy's tough every time we play him? Like there must be a big name out there that you probably didn't look forward to facing.
Yeah, probably the biggest name for me was the guy I coached against the other night, Patrick Waugh, who coaches the Islanders now. Grant Fear, I played against him as well. And Grant, his numbers weren't maybe the same as Patrick Waugh's, but he found a way to make key saves at key moments for the Edmonton Oilers, and obviously, you know, that team speaks for itself. But Patrick Waugh was one of those guys that, you know, you just had a hard time getting the puck past. Just pure competitors, those guys.
Big dude too, right? Like
yeah.
Waugh.
Yeah, they're pretty big, those guys. They fill the net.
Yeah. Next on Kraken Home Ice, we're getting a behind-the-scenes look at the talented youngsters who helped run the show at the Kraken Kids game. Plus, the players take us back to their early on-ice memories. The Armory is the place to be on Kraken game days. Ahead of weekend home games, there's all kinds of Kraken hype happening. From a live DJ to face painting, photo ops, and interactive video games. There's something for every fan. The fun starts 2 hours before puck drop. And if you don't have a ticket to the game, no problem. They show the game on the big screen. There's 3 more Armory pre-games happening this season. Saturday, February 28th, Saturday, March 7th, and Saturday, April 4th. Monday was a kids' takeover here at Climate Pledge Arena. The broadcast and on-air crews got help from some young, up-and-coming talent. I happen to be filling in on the desk with Allison Lucan, and Kennedy joined us as the Junior Kraken Hockey Network desk reporter. Here's a look at some of the best moments from the Kraken kids game.
4, 3, 2, 1. I'm very excited to take part in today's kids game.
You feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah? Talking to Allison's easy, huh?
Yeah. Go Kraken! Go Kraken!
So, Riker, tell everybody what position you play and the team you play for again.
I play center for the Junior Blazers.
Okay.
And this is a really fun experience.
Singing the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome 17-year-old Maya Russell.
And the home of the brave.
Some of the Kraken players have been skating even before they could walk. In this week's shootout, the players tell us just how young they were when they first stepped on the ice.
Age probably 3.
Age you want to old?
When I was 2.5, 3 years old, yeah.
I was probably like 4 or 5 years old.
3 years old. Oh, probably like 2 or 3 years old. Probably 3 years old, yeah.
I was probably 1.5 years old in the backyard. Yeah, my parents used to make a rink, so I was young.
I think I was about 3 years old.
I think I was 3 maybe?
I was probably 3 or 4.
3. First time, I was probably 5 years old, I want to say. 4 or 5 years old. I don't even remember, I was 1 or 2 probably.
2 weeks probably. My parents had me on the rink. I mean, technically I probably didn't step on the ice at 2 weeks. I think I started learning to skate when I was 2 years old. I don't remember. Maybe I was 2 years old, I would say.
Would be for just learn to skate in Stratford.
3. 3.5.
There's a lot happening at both home games next week. On Tuesday, Kraken fans get their very own Brandon Montour bobblehead. The limited edition figurine features DJ Montour mixing tunes. He got the DJ nickname last season when he took over picking the music in the locker room. On Thursday, the Kraken will celebrate Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islanders. The local artist responsible for the designs and jersey on the special night is Kenji Stoll. He's a tattoo artist specializing in Japanese and American traditional styles. His take on the Kraken S and anchor logos are based on modern tribal design. The Kraken have just a few games left before the Olympic break, and every point matters as they try to stay in playoff contention. And that'll do it for this episode of Kraken Home Ice. Thanks for looking in. We'll see you next week.